We are now on our third week of Lenten journey. Let me invite you to focus our reflection on the Gospel reading. Every time I look back at my childhood, the years I was growing up, I would remember the 3 rules of my mother at home. First rule, before you play outside, finish first the house chores. Clean the house, wash the dishes, clean the surroundings. Rule number 2, study hard. Finish your homework before you play. Third rule, you cannot leave the house without asking permission where you would go and come back before 4 p.m. Did you have those kinds of rules at home?
Yeah, 6.
Pag wala kayong ganito, di kayo mahal na magulang ninyo. Alam nyo, kapag hindi namin nasusunod to, maraming palo ang aabutin namin. Ngayon, yung mga bata ngayon, kapag pinalo mo, child abuse na yun. Kaya yung mga ibang bata ngayon, masyadong entitled eh. Tapos, hindi lang yun eh. Marupok, mahina ang loob. And every time we complain about these rules at home, my mother would always say, "You will understand when you get older." Maiintindihan ninyo paglaki ninyo. And now that I'm already old enough to understand, I know my mother was right. I can still feel the love in those rules. Without those rules to guide us, our life would have turned out differently. Kung wala yung mga patakaran na yun sa bahay, siguro hindi ako pari ngayon. Hindi ko alam kung ano In the Gospel passage, we read about Jesus who passionately overturned the tables of money changers and driving out the people who are doing business of buying and selling in the temple area. It may be shocking to us, especially the anger that Jesus displayed. It might be scandalizing for us to see Jesus getting angry. But we know by experience that the reaction of the Lord is normal. I remember a father who said, "My son is into drugs and alcohol, and I hate the drug addict and drunkard in him." Yung anak ko, nagda-drugs, laging umiinom. Galit na galit ako sa pagiging addict niya at manginginom. I am angry because he does not realize how he is destroying his life. I will further illustrate this in a simple way. Imagine a child walking with his parents. At first, his parents would gently ask him to come back and not to go far, especially near the road. But the child is just stubborn. He wants to run away, to go away, and he keeps on moving away until he comes near the road with many cars. And so the mother would run and snatch the child, move the child away from the danger. But in the process of getting the child, his arms are hurt and he begins to cry. The action of the mother appears to be cruel in the mind of the child. Yet, his mother acted out of love and for the sake of his safety. The passion of the Lord showed in the Gospel comes from his love of God the Father, which ultimately led to the cross. And we can understand his words at the end, "In 3 days I will raise it up." This refers to his self-sacrifice on the cross and eventually his resurrection. There are times in our lives, my dear friends, that we need the anger of the Lord, the passion of the Lord, because this means he loves us. This means he wants to shake us up. He wants us to turn back to God. Just like that mother calling her child, "Don't go too far. Don't go too far. Come back, come back." And when we are stubborn, he will be there to snatch us, move us away from danger. If we only understand that, then we will not look at the commandments of the Lord in the first reading to be limitations of our freedom, of our life. This Lenten season, let us remember the image of Jesus overturning those tables. The tables may symbolize our own life. What are the things in our life that the Lord wishes to overturn, to shake, to disturb, to wake us up from? Natatauhan lang tayo kapag tayo ay nasasaktan, di ba? Alam natin yun. Totoo yun sa ating karanasan. Natatauhan lang tayo kapag tayo ay nasasaktan lang. Kung minsan, hanggat hindi ka nasasaktan, hindi tayo natatauhan. It might be a good time to ask ourselves now, what would the